What is up, everyone? Sigs here, and today we're going to be continuing and hopefully finishing our playthrough of this relatively new roguelite dungeon crawler, in which we take on the role of a healer to heal our MMO-style dungeon party through increasingly difficult dungeons. And to that end, I believe we are on the most difficult dungeon of them all, the Necromancer's Lair. So I thought that the previous level was the final level and was ecstatic when we finally finished it, and then this got unlocked. But I do believe that that is the final level, and I do believe that we have a build to get through it, which we'll talk about briefly here before we start the run. Now, if you've seen any of my other Cleric videos, this is basically the same build, so this may be a little bit redundant, but for anybody new, here's what we're working with. We have some of the upgrades for our party, although not all of them, and we have some of the healing power upgrades for ourselves. We do also have all of these spells unlocked, which is going to allow them to be eligible to be obtained during the run so that we can get the build that we want online. And we also have all of the beds unlocked, which is going to make it a little bit easier to get the party composition that we want, which we will take a look at here. So we'll go back to the level. And what you can do is start the level and then leave, and it's going to re-roll all of these choices so that you can get what you want. And the main thing that we want is the Cleric, and that is because Circle of Healing. This seems to be a very powerful spell because it's going to do damage and healing at the same time. That is very good because you then don't have to spend as much time doing direct heals, which means you're not spending time DPSing, which means you're not advancing against the timer as quickly as you could. So it's super efficient, but in order for it to work well, everybody needs to be within the Circle of Healing. So the other thing that we want for this strategy is 3 melee DPS and a melee tank. That way everybody's always going to be nice and grouped up in our Circle of Healing. So we'll want the Cleric, we'll want the tankiest tank possible, which in this case will be the Knight. I usually like the Bulwark, but the Knight is also very good. And then we want 3 melee DPS, ideally with different armor types. We don't want everybody being heavy armor, let's say, because then it's going to be hard to find enough gear to spread around to everybody, and there's going to be a lot of pieces that nobody can equip that are going to go to waste. So we're going to take the Spell Sword. I like the Spell Sword a lot. It is a good light armor melee character that does split physical and magic damage, so you can double dip and get benefits from multiple pieces of gear. Additionally, we are going to take the Fighter, who I do quite like because of the Cleave ability. It's going to really speed up defeating those small trash packs of a lot of enemies since he's dealing damage to all of them. He is heavy armor, however, so we're going to end up with 3 heavy armor characters, but we will be taking him for this run. Now, lastly, for our 3rd melee slot, we're going to go with the Berserker because he uses medium armor. I would prefer for this slot to be the Reaper. That way we end up with the pure physical fighter, the split damage spell sword, and the pure magic damage Reaper. Gives us a better spread of damage types, as well as the medium heavy light armor characters. But I didn't want to sit here re-rolling for another 20 minutes and not end up with what I wanted, so we're going to give it a shot like this. This is a medium armor character, so that fits well. His Berserker Rage will increase his damage done when he's missing health. Unfortunately, due to the fact that we're almost always stacked and getting healed from my Circle of Healing, he won't benefit from that much. But we can kit him out with some good stuff if we get the right drops and make him pretty viable for this strat. So again, the main thing, just make sure that you have 4 melee characters plus your Cleric. That way everyone will be grouped up in the Circle of Healing. So I have done this level a few times. I have gotten to the last boss, although I haven't defeated him. I have had some tragic shenanigans happen to end these runs, but I'm hoping that we can finally complete a run. It's going to depend a bit on RNG. There's going to be some tough packs that I will go over how to deal with when we get to them, and for now, we are just going to start the run. So starting off here, we're going to have 6 minutes to find the 3 chests to get the 3 map fragments so that we can get to the exit and get bonus resource rewards. If we don't do that in time, it's not going to end the run, but we're going to miss out on those bonus resources, which is going to make it a lot harder to get the build right. So you see here, we're going to send everybody back at the caster to get everything grouped up so we could spam our Circle of Healing. but we're going to get interrupted by our first ability choice here. Now, we don't really like healing over time abilities. They don't seem to heal enough compared to direct heals, so we're just going to banish that. That will allow us to get something else potentially in that slot going forward. For this build, we do want some type of direct heal to compensate for Circle of Healing not doing quite enough healing on any individual target. However, the one that we really want is Flash Heal. So we're not going to take this just yet, but we're going to save our Banish for something worse. I think I'm going to take Healing Mass. These purple abilities are less likely to appear, so I might as well grab it now. It's a long cooldown, but it is a very powerful area of effect heal on everybody in the party that also damages enemies. So we will pick that up, and we'll go back to our main strat here, which is just keeping everything grouped up in the Circle of Healing, doing damage and healing at the same time, which is incredibly efficient. So we'll get our next spell here, and this is exactly what we want, Flash Heal. Now again, we'll never take healing over time spells, so we'll banish that. Dispel could be useful in certain situations on this level in particular, but we already have Mass Dispel, so we don't really need it, and we need Flash Heal for this build, so we'll pick that up. And we'll get another ability right off the bat, so Healing Stream I'll never use, Dark Mend I'll never use, we'll just banish that one. This is not that good. It can be good situationally with certain builds if we have a lot of single target spells, because we'll stack up the mana reduction and then use Flash Heal and it won't cost as much. But typically I don't have other single target spells to actually build that cost reduction up first. So it's just going to have the effect of making Flash Heal cost more, which we don't like. So we're just going to pass on this, grab a few extra hearts to spend at the shop. I don't think I could really afford anything yet, but I can stop the timer by being in here and just allow me to rearrange my bars real quick. We'll move the longer cooldowns over there. We like this here. And we did pick up a ring, so this is increased physical damage done, increased magic damage done, increased critical strike chance, increased health, increased physical damage reduction, increased magic damage reduction. So this is going to be good on our tank. The extra damage and crit is probably better for one of the physical DPS classes, but I think the most important thing at the start of a run is just to make sure your tank is strong enough to live, so the extra health on him will help with that. If he goes down, everyone else goes down very quickly, so I like to just invest in making sure that he's strong enough to live to start. Now, we don't have any spells, we don't have anything else to do here. I will grab a mana potion while I'm here. We use a lot of these on the longer boss fights, so any opportunity I have to stockpile them, I'll want to take. And then we will keep moving on here. Got our first chest early, which is good, but we have to find 2 more and the exit. Now, this pack I am not going to fight. I may have to fight one later in order to get to a chest or something, and if so, I'll explain some methods for dealing with it. But they do massive AoE damage, and since everybody's melee and grouped up in the AoE, they're all going to be getting hit by it, and I just cannot do enough healing to not have everybody die from it until I get more gear or some better spell upgrades. So we're going to lose a bit of time walking around here, but that's what we have to do. We don't want to throw the runaway on the second pack. And we'll keep moving. So Summoner here, we're always going to send everybody on the weakest caster. That will drag all the melee enemies together, get a nice tight stack so that we can just spam our circle, deal damage, deal healing at the same time, get through these as quickly as possible, and see what we get here. So this we don't really use because we very rarely use this for killing blows. This, if timed correctly on the correct boss mechanic, could be powerful, but I think this is just better for its throughput for us right now. And this is okay. It's not a staple of this build, but I do like having some type of instant cast spike healing abilities. If, again, the Circle of Healing isn't quite keeping up, we can just dump the charges of this to do damage and healing at the same time. And because we're all stacked up with this melee build, everyone should be getting healed from it. So we are going to pick that up. It's a nice little instant cast spike heal that will probably come in handy later. So this next pack here, same deal. Gonna send everybody on the weak caster, try to just nuke him down before the first cast goes off, which we don't quite do, but it at least gets everything grouped up to just finish off with circle. Now there's another shop here. I don't really have enough hearts to buy anything, but we will get a new ability to choose from. This, I'll never have a damage over time on an enemy where this is useful. It will heal for each debuff, but it no longer impacts enemies. I don't actually think there's anywhere that I care about using this as a purge for the enemies, so that's actually not bad. But what I'm going to do is go with this one. It'll remove healing over time effects, but I so rarely have healing over time effects even applied that this ends up just being a 20% healing increase, which for something that I'm going to be using a lot is quite substantial. So we will take that. I'll grab a mana potion here just because it's available, and I want to make sure we have enough for later, but we do want to start stockpiling our hearts to start purchasing some better gear and abilities, and we always want heroism scrolls, at least one for every boss, so going forward we'll probably hold off on mana pots. Another pack here, I'm going to focus this in Rager because he's going to do a lot of damage to the tank. We want to be ready to hit the tank with a direct heal if he needs it, but we can move in, use our hammer ability for a little bit of spike damage and healing, and look around for another chest. Yeah, so there's a chest and it's at the Cyclone pack. I think the only way I'm going to be able to deal with it now is with this healing mass. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to just nuke one of these warriors as soon as possible, and then hope I can heal through this massive AoE damage with my massive cooldown, which we're just barely making it through. We lost the spell sword, but you can see why those packs are so brutal. The damage that they do to everybody being grouped up is just so intense. Without this or some other strong, quick, instant, single target damage ability to just snipe the big guy, it gets rough. That whirlwind that he does, his corpse will continue to do it too, so even if you kill him, you still need to move away from it, and if you don't move far enough away from it quick enough, it will suck you back in, and you will get stuck within that cyclone, and it will just destroy your party. So thankfully we get away with only one death there, so we'll have to waste the time rezzing him, but that could have gone a lot worse, and we had to do it to get the chest, so it was worth a shot. Now, as for these abilities, again, I'm not really using damage over time spells, so this has no benefit. I don't use physical gear, so that's not a lot of benefit. This is super marginal. I will use this before pulling a boss to stack with a heroism scroll, just to get as much burst damage as possible while everybody has their cooldowns up. It's not great. I don't use it a lot, but it's better than nothing at this point, so we will pick it up and just move it out of the way. Get some gear from that chest, make sure we res our spell sword, and move on here. Now, typically, the main thing with these pulls, you don't have to worry about keeping everybody at full health. You just need to keep them at least 1 health, because they will heal pretty quickly outside of combat. So as long as they don't die, we want to go in here quick, and we want to focus a detonator down before these 2 casts go off at once. And this is a great ability. The healing now does damage, so you'll use this, it'll deal damage, which will deal healing, and then the healing will deal additional damage back to the enemies. It really buffs this hammer, so we are going to take that, and we can let the 1 detonation go off, is fine. We just didn't want 2 of them to go off at once, and we do want to finish off before the next one. So we'll target everybody on him, finish off this last one as I get the loot, and check the shop. We'll stop the timer. See what we have here. This is really good for the spell sword because he can double dip in the physical and the magic since he does split damage, but he can't equip this, so it's just going to go on the tank for now. Like we talked about, more survivability on the tank earlier is better, and this one can go on the spell sword, so again, he'll double dip. He'll basically get 12% increase from that, which is quite good. Now, this is pure magic. If I had the Reaper, this would be perfect for him. I don't at the moment, but we're just going to throw it on the spell sword, who has decent magic damage. It's good to have more abilities because when they get put on cooldown, at least they'll have something else to cast besides just their weak basic attack. So we really want to fill out their abilities and have them have 4 abilities as quickly as possible. None of these abilities are going to be worth taking, though. We don't want anything with a 30-meter range because then they will be at 30 meters away instead of stacked up in the circle of healing. But for the rest here, if we have something good, we'll take it. That's good for the fighter. This is good for me. I'm going to care a little bit more about me for right now. I'm doing the most damage by a lot, so getting 10% damage and 3% crit on me is pretty important, although we do want to stack defense on everybody as quick as possible, so it was kind of a toss-up there, but I think if we can kill packs quicker, there'll be less damage going out, and that will compensate for the damage reduction we just passed up on there. Now, Reaper pack here, want to get everybody in a nice stack and just AoE it down. It's going to do damage over time on everybody. I can typically just heal through it with Circle of Healing, but if not, we can Mass Dispel it. And as for these abilities here, we can banish this because we already have our direct heal that we want, and instant heal is a key part of this build that we definitely want. Again, as we are spamming our Circle of Healing, if we start to fall behind on tank healing or any one party member who's taking a lot of direct damage, we can just weave this in for a massive heal and then get right back to our Circle of Healing spamming. And that's going to be really good. There's also good upgrades for this ability that's going to reduce the mana cost of our other spells, so this is definitely something we want. We're going to take it, we're going to put it over there, we're going to finish off this pack, we're going to Mass Dispel the dot off, although I probably don't need to, and we're good. The exit's right here, and we have our map fragments, and we could end now and get 1 extra heart per second remaining, but typically I think I can gather more upgrades, spells, and armor worth of hearts than I get from finishing early, if that makes sense. I wanted to go down there, but another Cyclone pack I don't really feel like taking on right now. So this way first, get this group. You guys need to get on the healer. I will use the instant heal to just snipe him down, and do the same thing here on this caster. And look around, see if there's another chest or something we can grab. So getting more abilities like this, more rolls on abilities, more armor drops, more spell drops is probably worth more than just the extra hearts we get for finishing early. But we do still want to get back to this exit to get the extra 100 hearts for finishing the floor. So I don't want to go too far from here. 1% chance to reset the cooldown is not awful. This, because as a cast time, is not very good. But lesser heal is a key part of this build as well. So on longer boss fights where you're running out of mana, you want to have something to cast while your mana regenerates. So this is good for that. It can also be cast while moving. Any instant cast spells or cast while moving spells are great, just so you can always be doing something instead of doing absolutely nothing while moving. Now, the way the mana regeneration works is you need to not cast anything for a full 5 seconds before your full mana regeneration will kick in. However, spells that cost 0 mana don't count against that. So if there's ever a period in a fight where I'm out of mana or where I just need to regenerate some more mana, I can be doing this to be doing some healing while getting my full mana regen. So this is very good, and we're going to take it. Got this one little skeleton decided to come over, blast him with a hammer. And I am considering fighting that Cyclone pack with the big healing cooldown, just because I know I saw a lot of stuff down here, but if we can avoid it, we'll play it safe. So see if we can loop around and still have enough time to get back to the exit here. But we want to use this last minute to get as many upgrades as possible. There's the Whirlwind pack. Let's go this way. Reaper pack should be fine. We can use some AoE, we can heal through the damage over time pretty easily. Probably need to weave in an instant heal here on the tank to keep him healthy. And I'll just take a quick peek around the corners, see if there's a good chest or anything. Another upgrade. Reduces the base mana cost and cast time by 50%. 30%. It's unlikely, because I only use this pre-pull, so it's unlikely anybody's going to have it on if they even get that low. Don't like reducing the radius, even though we're usually all stacked up for it, so this shouldn't matter. I just like having the bigger circle. This is okay. A little passive kind of side grade we'll take. Getting a little risky here now with being able to make it back to the exit in time. Definitely getting greedy, but I think I have a plan, which is going to be to nuke this group, instant heal the tank so he doesn't go down, we can use the hammer to finish it up. We'll grab our loot, and we will just run straight to the exit. If we accidentally pull this Whirlwind pack, as long as I can live and get to that exit in time, it's going to be fine. So hopefully that's what happens. Okay, good. We didn't pull it. And we can just hit the exit now. We will get our completion bonus and our extra time bonus, have some extra hearts to spend at this shop here for this first boss. So let me go ahead and open this chest, see what the shop has, get everyone set up, and then we'll talk about the boss. So I get some loot here. Now we have very strong physical gauntlets, which can go on our fighter as our strongest melee DPS. And we have a hood that at least the Berserker will benefit from: physical damage, damage reduction, and health. Vamp Shield. I'm going to sell that first ability, no one can use it. Vamp Shield, pretty good. Going to give some extra healing to our tank if he gets low, so we'll take that. We're good on mana pots. We don't have our Heroism Scroll yet, so that's always going to be a priority. And let's see what we have here. So that's pretty good. If the Spellblade could use it, I would get it because he double dip on the 16%, but he can't. This we can't afford. So what I'm going to get, which I may regret if we get it to drop for free later, but I'm going to get Sunder and another mana pot while we have the opportunity to. Now, Sunder does not do a lot of damage, but it's going to increase the physical damage that everybody else does. So since we have, 2 plus the tank physical dealers, that's going to add up to be a lot more. And the extra damage done is going to hopefully compensate for the lack of damage that this ability does. The question is, who do we put it on? It should be the tank, since he loses the most by doing not a lot of damage with this, compared to these guys who could be doing more with other abilities potentially. But he already has 3 abilities, and these other guys already have 2, so I'd rather have them have something available to cast while their other spells are on cooldown. So we're going to throw it on the Berserker, who's doing less damage than the fighter, and that's how we're going to be set up for this. So we're doing okay with our build. We have a lot of the key pieces, although not all of them. We're a little behind on gear, and we're okay on abilities. And this boss is called the Death Knight Champion with 80,000 HP. So what he's going to do is attack the tank, which I could heal through. He's going to do Corruption, random damage over time on people, which I could heal through, or Mass Dispel. And then his main mechanic is this Death Zone, which is a Frogger-esque style ability. He's going to summon these walls of purple pools that are going to move, and there's going to be a gap in them. So the goal is to just microman party to the gaps so they don't take damage from it. Now, I've done this boss a few times. There's a lot of RNG involved. You could get lucky and just not even have to move at all, have a whole bunch of rows in a row where the gap is in the same spot. Or you could have like the gap all the way on the left, and then all the way on the right, and then all the way on the left, and all the way on the right, and the amount of movement to go back and forth is just almost not possible, to the point where you're going to get clipped by them, in which case you have to do a lot of extra healing to heal through that. So we hope that we get nice RNG where we can easily dodge the walls. We also don't want to spend a lot of time moving, because if we're moving, we're not DPSing. If we're not DPSing, the fight takes a lot longer, and the longer any fight takes, the more opportunities there are for something to go wrong. So what we want to do is we're going to pre-buff everybody with Empower. 1 second before we get to the boss, we're going to use Heroism, and that way when everybody uses their strong cooldowns on pull, we're going to be fully buffed. We're going to get as much damage as possible up front just to shorten the length of the fight, and then we're going to worry about dodging. Now, there's not a super high healing requirement for this fight. As long as we're dodging well, I could really take my time with it. It's totally fine. The only issue is if we get bad RNG and start getting clipped, then suddenly the healing requirement becomes very high and things can get out of hand quite quickly. But we'll give it our best shot. I'll get kind of close, but I don't want to get too close and accidentally pull him. We will buff everyone in lowest damage to highest damage order so that the higher damage dealers have the buff for longer. We will get the last cast here, and then we're going to target him. And then 1 second before we get to him, we're going to pop our Heroism Scroll, do as much damage as possible up front, burn through some of my charges early so they start regenerating. We got pretty good RNG here, so we're just going to move here where it's safe, and get ready to move to the left as those next few come over. Get a mana pot early so that the next use of it is up sooner, leading to more mana over the course of the fight. Get close enough for my hammer here. One more little move to a safe spot. Come on, guys, move. Oh my god. Almost got clipped on that one, but we are doing good. So I'm just going to do some lesser heals to keep the tank healthy while my mana regenerates. And then once I have enough, I am going to actually empower myself and then just burn my mana here on as much DPS as possible to defeat him before the next set of walls comes out, which we did. So there you go. That's about as well as that could go. This one we talked about we're not going to use. These two are both good. Getting like potentially a free extra use of it is huge, and the more crit chance is great because I typically use this when people are low anyway as an emergency. So they're really going to benefit from a crit because they're going to be missing so much health that it doesn't overheal. So it's kind of a toss-up. Do I want an extra use, which is going to cost more mana, or do I want the potentially less uses to heal for more? I'll go with this one for now, but these are both pretty much instant pickups if we see them. And yeah, that's that boss. So I've had really bad RNG where it's like almost impossible to defeat him with the having to move back and forth so quickly, but we got pretty lucky there. We were able to put a lot of damage into the boss, and I'd say that went pretty well. So we'll take a look at what we got before we go to the next floor. Reckless Strike is okay on the Berserker. It's going to increase his damage taken, which could really bite me in the rear end if I'm not careful with it. But because of this ability where he does more damage when he's missing health, you almost want him to take more damage that he does more damage. It's just a really risky play style, but we will put that on him for now. We're going to leave Sunder on him as well, though, although potentially I could be moving that to the fighter. It just seems like the fighter's doing so much more damage that I don't want him wasting his time sundering. This is just a purely defensive piece, which will get moved over to the tank. Even though he's going to lose some health, he's going to get more mitigation, which is good, and it allows me to move one of these pieces onto myself then, which would be the pure magic damage wants to go to me, and then this one can go to nobody. Could go on the fighter, but his are better. Could go on the tank, but he loses damage reduction. I guess nobody's going to use this, so it's just going to get sold. So, okay, doing okay so far, but there is a big challenge ahead of us. So we're going to head down to floor 2. And this is where some of these enemies start to get really tough. There's going to be a lot of stacking debuffs going out, including a healing received reduction. So really, we just want to kill these packs as quick as possible. This pack is nasty. I'm going to do it, but it might go bad. This guy's going to slam the ground. I need to bait his ability and then move everyone out of it, and then I need to kill the Cyclone Champion before he murders everyone. I'm actually going to pre-empower this pack. I'm wasting a lot of time talking about it, but this is a pack capable of ending our run right now if we're not careful, so I should probably have just avoided it altogether, but we're going on the Slammer. We're going to move out so we don't get stunned. Out so we don't get stunned. We are going to spam our massive AoE healing. Focus the Slammer. We're going to need to instant heal the tank. Keep him healthy. And then we need the Cyclone being killed before the next Whirlwind. Okay, that went about as well as it could, but my god, was that hardly worth the time. That's a really nasty pack. Very important to bait that stun so he starts casting it and then move everybody out of it so that you don't get all stunned. And then just deal with that Cyclone guy before he gets out of hand. Now, I'm sure I used my heroism scroll in the last boss, right? I must have picked up another one, so I'm okay with having more, especially for the later bosses. I don't know if we want to spend the money on it just yet. I think it's more important we start filling in some of these gear slots that we don't have anything for yet. Absolutely that one. Shield Slam is quite a good ability, so we're going to do this and this. Oh, I can't afford it. I'm too short. Okay. I want to come back for that if I can. This is just so good for the Spell Sword because he double dips, because he does split damage. He'll essentially get 20% damage from this, so that's very good. And Shield Slam, 20% reduced damage taken if it crits, so there you go. Lots of tanky abilities. I want that other piece though, so wasting a lot of time down here in this corner, honestly, but we're going to pull this pack to get our 2 hearts. Make sure I don't accidentally pull something over there. We'll stack it up. These guys are going to do a stacking poison damage. As you can see, it gets really bad really quick, so we'll need to instant heal the tank and just AoE this pack down before it gets out of hand. So 3 good abilities here. 2 good abilities, 1 okay one. This is not a lot of healing, but it's 100% free. It's just always on, doing little ticks of extra healing. So if there's nothing better, this isn't an awful pickup. This is very good because when we weave in our instant casts, we get a mana cost reduction on our expensive Circle of Healing, so we can keep casting it. But I think I'm going to take this one. I love the name of this ability because this ability I literally use when it's needed. So like a lot of times it's sitting at max charges doing nothing, which feels kind of bad, but then when I need it, I would love to have more charges. So it makes the cooldown take a lot longer, but then when I need it, I have more charges. And all those times when it would be sitting at 2 charges not being used, it's going to be burning into that longer cooldown, regenerating charges. So I think I'm going to go with this, and we hope we see this one again later. But because this is blue, it's less likely to be seen again than this one, so we'll take that. We'll move in. I'm going to use the hammer here for just some AoE healing and damage, and then we're going to make sure we get our loot real quick. And we are just going to take this movement speed back to the shop to grab that one other piece. May not be super wise here because we are likely to get, you know, a similar or better piece as a drop. But because we don't have any chest pieces on these 3 people yet, I want to start getting these slots filled in. And this is a very good defensive piece for our tank, and we want our tank to live first and foremost. So we're going to do that. And now we need to get cooking because we've wasted a lot of time and gotten very little for that time. We don't have any map fragments, and we don't know where the exit is, so we need to move. We're not going that way because that's another cyclone pack, I think, right? Yes, so we're staying away. We're going to hit the annoying little skeleton. It's going to make us waste all of our good cooldowns for no loot. And then we're going to do one of these again. So big AoE pack. These guys are going to stack up a damage taken increased ability. So we just want to AoE the pack down before that gets out of hand. We can pick up our chest. Next go. Okay, so again, this one we don't ever want. These are both okay. Increases the healing but reduces the radius, but that's okay because we're usually all stacked up anyway. It'll go from 8 meters to 4 meters, and 30% extra healing is pretty potent. This is pretty good too because, again, I'm spamming Circle of Healing, tank gets a little too low, so I weave in some flash heal spam, and then it'll make me able to go back to Circle of Healing with a much quicker cast, leading to higher damage per second, higher healing per second. The only problem is it costs the same amount of mana, so it's very mana inefficient. It's great for throughput, but way less mana efficient, and some of these longer fights, mana is a big issue. So for that reason, we're going to go with this one for now, and we just need to make sure we're all very tightly stacked when I use it, which should be fine. We'll have them take out the little skeletons while I pick up the loot, and we'll look around for some more chests. A couple AoE packs in there, another one over here. That is just skeletons. I'll go this way just so I can get the loot, and we'll probably loop back around. Need to be a little careful on these corners that there's not like a whirlwind pack just waiting for me there. Need to spam this AoE. Need to spam the hammer. Doing great instant healing and damage. Top the tank up just because we need to let our mana come up a little bit. Yeah, let's do this. We'll send them at the skeleton pack, let my mana come back while they do that. They're taking forever with it. Oh my lord. We are really late on time. Okay, and we have full mana now, so we can nuke this next pack. Again, careful on the corners. And spam this. This is going to be healing taken reduction. It's going to stack up very quickly, so big AoE damage important here. We'll never use this hot, so banish. Reduces the cooldown and duration, but the healing per tick remains the same. Interesting. Bit of RNG there. I don't really care about the cooldown reduction. Most things aren't going to be long enough for me to really benefit from that, so we'll go with this. Again, we talked about this before. More crit, very efficient. Since I'm almost always using it when people are low, they're going to take advantage of that extra crit, and we have lots of charges on it now, so we'll lean into having that ability ready to go. We need to get in and use the hammer, finish off that pack. And I want to go this way because I saw this nice easy AoE pack. I also now see a shop over here, so again, we'll move in, nuke this pack before the healing reduction gets out of hand. Spam it down like so. Pick up our loot quickly. And okay, perfect. And there's a chest here, so one more big AoE pack. Send everybody in. Oh, there's the exit as well. Nuke this pack with the hammer. Boom, boom, boom. One more circle of healing should do it. And what do we got? Reduces the base mana cost and cast time by 100%. Wow. Does that mean it costs 0 mana or that it costs half as much? I don't know how they do the math in this. That could be good. I love the increased damage done from this to speed up our clears, but we have the hammer for quick damage, and I don't like that the cast time makes the healing per second so much less, so we're not ever going to take that. Refresh is okay, again, just to have an instant cast to use on the move, as well as to pre-cast on our tank, thereby effectively increasing the amount of time before we have to heal him, therefore increasing the amount of time that we can spend DPSing. So it's kind of a toss-up between these two. I won't use this much. I mean, this is going to be great in an emergency to just have this ready to go. I mean, I think it'll be instant cast and cost no mana. I mean, that's great. Yeah, we'll take that. If refresh comes up again, I might grab it, but it's so rare that I even would use it if I did have it, so... We'll scoop the loot, we'll open the chest, we'll check the shop. Nice that we're at the exit. We have about 2 minutes to go explore, try to get that third map fragment. Let's see what we have here. So this needs to just go on literally anybody. I guess the fighter for survivability. I have an easier time getting out of mechanics that deal damage than he does, so that's good. This is great for the spell sword. Yeah, he loses some crit, but he gets more base damage, so we'll go with that. And we'll sell that we can't use. We have some spells that we won't use. Thunder Strike is good for the spell sword, but he already has it. This is almost the same as what he has. A little bit more crit, but probably not worth the money just for 3% crit. That's going to be a purchase for sure. That we don't care about, and that's not really better. No scrolls we want. We'll save the rest of the hearts for the other shops coming up, but we're going to throw this. Finally, he has a chest as well, a little bit more damage and some more survivability. I see Berserker's doing like almost no damage. That's why I really wanted the Reaper instead of him, but at least he's hopefully applying Sunder and all that. Move everybody in here. I am noticing what I think is a bug as well about their abilities that are equipped aren't showing up. I don't know if that means that they're not actually using them or not, but I know a way to fix it once I am not being timed. That is a horrible pack again that I definitely don't want to do, but I do need to find a chest and get back to the exit very quickly, so I'm really just hoping there's a chest up here. Looks like there is, so we may have just lucked out. Yeah, okay. So we go backcasters, we get this all grouped up. Whoa, that hurt. Oh my god, I'm just gonna pop the big heal because I'm terrified. Jeez, that was scary. Empower now increases magic damage, but only magic damage, and they deal 10 less magic damage. Don't think I want that. I won't use Chain Heal because it's the same thing as Circle of Healing. Don't need this. I'm going to pass and take the hearts. Hope we get some better stuff from the shops. So yeah, that was terrifying. I think we were fine because there's usually a long time in between when they do that massive tick of damage, but so we would have been able to heal everyone up in time. But it is just terrifying when all that damage goes out at once, so worth using the cooldown for. We'll scoop that. I'm getting a little greedy because I want to look to see if there's one more pack I could nuke. Nothing that looks too easy to do quickly, and it's more important to get those extra 100 hearts from getting to the exit in time, I think. Again, you can often get more than 100 hearts worth of stuff from any given pack, especially if it has a chest, but we can find some good stuff at the shops too. So that's what we'll do. We'll exit now, a little early. Take the extra hearts, get ready for the second boss here. Pick up the chest, see what we get. New ability. Increases the critical chance on targets that are missing health below 35%, which is great because again, that's when we usually use it. This one we don't ever use. When it crits, it reduces the mana cost. Yeah, so this is the one where, especially with this amount of charges, if I just kind of weave that in with my Circle of Healings, it has a pretty high chance to reduce the mana cost of Circle of Healing, allowing me to continue spamming it for longer. So as much as I like this one, I think we're going to go with that for right now, especially considering we're about to do a boss fight, which takes a long time, which means we need more mana. Cleave we already have. That is an upgrade. That we can't afford. That is kind of a downgrade because of the split damage. But let's see what we already have first. These we'll never use. The Shadow Cleave can just go on the Spell Sword because he has magic. Let's see what else we have for armor before we buy anything. A ring with physical will go on the fighter, doing good damage. A hauberk with magic is very good for me, thank goodness. That can go on the fighter for some more damage, and this is probably not really an upgrade for anyone. I'll lose health on the fighter, but I'll gain crit for damage. Kind of a risky decision. I think I will give it to him, though. I don't know, 4% crit for 300 health, 250 health. I honestly don't even know. We'll go with the crit. Yeah. Health isn't really that important. It actually makes your heals less effective as a percentage of their health. The only thing it's good for is buying you more time in between when you have to heal them, and also potentially allowing them to live through a hit that would otherwise kill them. But if everybody just has massive health pools, it means I need to spend a lot more mana healing them back to full. So it's better to just have damage reduction, which means they take less damage, and then each heal can heal a larger percentage of that back because they have less health. If that makes sense, I didn't quite explain that right, but hopefully you know what I mean. DR is almost always better than HP, is what I'm getting at. So I think that's the right call there. Now I will grab this for the spell blade just to get a little more damage on him. I will grab the ring. That's very good for the spell sword because he can double dip. That's an 18% damage increase on his split spells. We have some hearts left over. I will grab a mana potion just to start stockpiling for the last boss. And I'm almost tempted to buy this just for an emergency situation, but I think we'll save the hearts for now. Okay, so we're set up. Everybody's cooldowns are back up, which is good. Like showing on the bar, not bugged out again. Now this guy is the Lord of Affliction. Again, 80,000 HP. What he will do is attack the tank, which I can heal. He will volley the group, which I can heal. And he will do this, World of Affliction. So it's kind of similar to the last boss of the, I think it was the ice level, where there's like 4 quadrants and they get lit up. The difference is these are always lit up and they always do something different. So depending on which quadrant you're standing in, you will either get a stacking debuff, reducing your damage dealt, increasing your damage taken, reducing your damage healing, reducing your healing taken, excuse me, or taking damage per tick. Now, there's a few ways to deal with this. Number one is just like take a couple stacks, move to the next area, take a couple stacks, move to the next area, take a couple stacks, and just keep going around like that. That way you always keep your stacks low and you don't really have to worry about it. The other strategy is literally just mass dispel when the stacks get high and don't move. So at that point, the question is, what is the best one to stand in? I would say the two options are either the flat damage tick, because I could probably just almost passively heal through it while dealing damage with Circle of Healing at all times. Or what I think is going to be the best here is stand in the reduced damage dealt one, and then just mass dispel it when the stacks get too high and it starts to slow down too much. That's really safe. It means there's going to be the least amount of damage going out. It is going to make the fight take longer, but it's going to be the least amount of healing that I have to do. And thankfully with Mass Dispel, I can just counter it every so often. So I think that's going to be the play. We don't have our pre-shield, we don't have our pre-hot, but we are going to pre-damage buff everybody with this in the order of least to most damage. We're going to get ready to go in, target everybody on him. Wisdom scroll 1 second before they use their cooldowns. Boom. Very quickly burn through a couple charges of these abilities so they start regenerating and move everybody. I believe this is the quadrant where we... what is this one? What's stacking right now? Healing reduction, that's what you want. You want to move over. Let's move to this one. Yeah, this is reduced damage done, so I just mass dispel it off. And you'll see the boss himself does very little actual damage. So I just stand here. I'm not really taking any damage. I could burn a mana pot to keep going, but I don't even think I need to. It's just going to take a lot longer this way, but it's so safe. We're not taking any damage. It doesn't even matter. I just pop this. Keep everybody healthy, defeat the boss. I could mass dispel the 42% damage reduction off, and there you go. So that fight can be pretty tough if you're in the wrong quadrant. But if you're just in this reduced damage done quadrant, the healing requirement is super low, and you can just mass dispel it off when it gets too high to speed things up. And that's it. So that went pretty well. Let's see what we got. Physical damage ring, I guess we'll go on the Berserker. I almost don't want to put anything on the Berserker because he's doing tank damage. He's doing such low damage, but I don't know if that's like a confirmation bias due to just having a lack of investment in him, or if I'm not investing in him because he does less damage, you know what I mean? Or if he's doing less damage because I haven't invested in him. But either way, we'll give that to him, and this is going to be not an upgrade, so we'll sell it. And this is actually an okay ability, nice area of effect ability for anyone who does magic damage, but I think that I'd rather have these two abilities. What's the cooldown? 30 seconds, 1000 fire damage, area of effect. I think we have enough area of effect with my circle of healing and the cleave, so we'll leave him with single target abilities, and we will go on to the third floor. So this is going to be the hardest floor by far. There's a lot of enemy packs here that can get out of hand. Looks very cool down here, different looking map. We'll take out this one skeleton quickly. We're going to put all of our stuff on cooldown, but then we can go on this pack. I want to focus the champion down. He does massive tank damage. If I don't get that instant heal off quick enough and the tank goes down, that can get out of hand. So we nuke the champion, and then we finish off the other two. The necrotic guy and the flame blade are stacking debuffs on the tank. Thankfully we have lots of charges of instant heal, and we're out of mana. These packs have a lot more health, and they deal a lot more damage, and they therefore take a lot longer, but we got through that one. And that's a cyclone pack. I'm not even going to go that way. I could probably do it, but I don't want to risk throwing the runaway if I can help it. So what do we have in here? Oh god, double cyclone pack. That's not even possible, I don't think. But we'll see. Oh, these are all cyclone packs. Wow, this is brutal. Okay, we're gonna go a completely different way. Maybe due to the RNG of the enemy spawns, they're all cyclone packs, in which case this is gonna be very, very rough, but we'll see what else we got down here. God, yeah, another cyclone. We'll go in, we will do all the damage to the cyclone as quick as we can. Everybody out. I need to use my big heal. Oh god, I should have used that sooner. Wow, yeah, these cyclone guys are just absolutely brutal. They're lethal. At least we got through the pack. I'm almost considering, let's see what we got first. Refresh hot, I don't have hots. Killing blow we never get. This is the good crit one, that's what we want. Need to spend some time rezzing here. I'm almost considering just standing still and waiting for the timer to elapse, so we at least have a shot at the boss with what we have, versus failing the run due to one of those cyclone packs. If I had that Phoenix Flames ability, it's just such a massive hit, I can usually just instantly kill one of the cyclone guys. That would make it a little more manageable. Without that, this is going to be rough, so... One thing I could do here, which I won't because it would be incredibly boring, but I could kind of cheese this by just sitting here with the timer stopped and letting all my charges of instant heal come back, because that's probably my strongest just direct single target damage ability to nuke those cyclone guys. So that's something I could do. Could also wait for this to come back up for every pack. A little cheesy, but would be safe. But we're going to see what we have here. Nothing, no abilities we want. We do need a heroism scroll for the boss. We do want mana potions for the boss. We all have chests that are better. This is slightly better for the spell sword, but it's quite expensive, and I think I want to save my hearts for the two boss shops that are coming up. Yeah, and that's... I mean, I could just buy this for 80 and throw it on myself, because I don't even have a ring, but hoping we'll find a better one. No idea what's going on with the spell sword there. Hopefully they get unstuck, otherwise... What's going on? Okay, are they moving now? Uh-oh. Character's just gonna get bugged out. We're not gonna have them for this whole floor. That would not be good. Alright, well, we're just gonna hope they unstick themselves, and we're gonna have to go into the next pack. So, this is one with the slammer, so we're gonna need to bait the slam, and then move everybody out. So, slam baited, move out. stay out. After the slam goes off, we go back in. I'm just using this. I don't even care. I'm terrified. I want to make sure we can get as much done as we can. Death Spiral coming. That you typically don't have to move out of because it's going to move away from you on its own pretty quickly. And then you just need to kind of... well, we need to get out of this. Jesus. Let me get back to spamming and make sure we're moving through somewhat efficiently here. Yeah, that spiral you can kind of just let move away from you, and then you just need to move away from it before it comes back. Double Cyclone Pack. Cyclone Pack. Wow. Yeah, if we had casters or archers, anybody at range, I feel like those cyclones would be a lot easier to deal with, but putting everybody in on them and everybody taking damage at once is just too much to heal through. So we need to find packs without Cyclone Dudes. That one has a Cyclone Dude and an Elite Summoner. Yeah, the last time I was on this floor, we did not have packs like this at all. I'm going to try this pack. I just need to be doing something with this time. There's like a near 0% chance we actually finish by getting the fragments and getting the bonus, but I'm going to pre-empower everybody. We're going to send them in right on the Cyclone, and I'm going to try to just nuke him with instant heal as quickly as possible before this damage gets to be too bad. I need to spam... See, even his corpse is still spinning and doing the damage after we kill him. It's awful. Nasty, nasty enemies. Thankfully, we got him out of the picture. We can finish off that summoner. And we are out of mana, but we have our free heal. So just finish off this. Let our mana regenerate. Res the spell sword. Just trying to get whatever we can from this floor without dying. Another pack up here with a chest. Okay, yeah, this is more like what I'm used to seeing. We can deal with this pack no problem. So we'll go in on the immolators. We'll spam our AoE. If we need it, we have instant heal for our tank. We can do that, move in so we can hammer everything. Ready to mass spell the corruption off. Although I could probably just heal through it and see what we get. Nothing that we want here. I don't even know what we want for our build at this point. I'm just going to do a reroll because it's still cheap and we don't want any of this. 1% chance to reset the cooldown on mass healing. We're going to do that because I could see that being useful on the last boss because it is a very long fight. This guy's bugging out again. I really hope that doesn't continue on to the next floor. I don't think I can do the boss down one party member. Okay, wow, I got some good stuff here. These are going to be very good tank gloves. More health, less mitigation. This is actually just going to be better for me marginally, which is a bit of a disappointment, but it's okay. Chest is good for the fighter to do more damage. Still no helm for him. Feels kind of bad. Let's see. Crit and damage reduction is going to be for tank. Wow. Big HP helmet can go on the Berserker. No, it's going to make him do less damage, so it's going to get sold. And ring for me, that's actually pretty good. We didn't even have a ring. Don't care about Molten Shield, don't care about the arrow. Let's see what we got here. Anything we can't live without. Rend is good to get... Did I already have Rend on this guy? No, I don't. Okay. We need an ability for the fighter. He doesn't even have other abilities. I might just get this for him too at this point, unless one of these gloves or something is amazing, which they're not. So yeah, we'll do that. We'll pick up another mana, 2 mana pots for the boss fight. Throw 2 abilities on him. Everybody kitted out with abilities now. Still need a helmet for the fighter. Could definitely get better pieces for people too, but as long as they have something equipped, that's good. Okay, 2 packs I could deal with here, no problem, right? Yep. Send everybody in. Spam some instant heals on the fire move so we don't have to deal with the fire circle. Detonation's going off. Okay, we killed him, good. Another detonation going off, killed him, good. One more, boom, and the last one, done, good. Okay, and we'll move on to this pack, another one we should be able to deal with. Yep, on the mages in the back. I'm just going to pop this now, just to save some time. Try to get as many packs killed as possible since we're not getting the bonus from throwing in the map fragments. Thought that was an enemy there, that was terrifying. Cyclone pack, we want to stay away. Instant heal no longer has a cooldown and the global cooldown, but the mana cost is increased. It'll be amazing, massive single target healing, but I don't want it to cost that much more mana. Physical damage we don't benefit from. Yeah, this is okay because when I am out of mana and I spam lesser heal for something to do, it'll make my next circle of healing potentially cost less, meaning I can use it sooner, so we do get a little bit of benefit from that. And with the last 30 seconds, okay, slammer pack, we can do this. We're gonna bait the slams, move out of the slams, we stay out, now we go and there we go, group it up, nice and in the circle. Okay, we're fine. I thought that was another slam. We'll instant heal, and we'll get the chest. Another little shop there I could just peek at. Let's see what this pack next to it does, though, because we're right about to end. If I get put in combat, I'm not going to be able to stop time at the shop, so we're just going to end here. We don't fail, thankfully. We just don't get our bonus hearts. But I think we stockpiled enough for this boss. I almost can't believe we made it back here. This guy's brutal. But I think this is our best shot at defeating him, so let's see what we got. Nice 14% magic, but can't go on a magic user. This is more damage and more defense for our berserker, so we like that. This is not really an upgrade for anyone, I guess. We'll sell it, and this would be good for a couple people, but theirs are already better. Okay. Range spell we don't want, bow we can't use, don't want. Cheap shots. Is that going to be better than the divisive strike? No, I like the damage reduction on this. Is it going to be better for the tank? Not really. I prefer the bleed. You know what? We'll do cheap shot over the one where he takes more damage, just because I don't want something to go wrong where he ends up dying on the boss because he took that extra damage. Anything amazing here? Wow. That is an amazing helm for the spell sword. I'll buy it if I have enough left over. This is pretty good upgrade for me, but I just don't really have the hearts to afford all this. I think we have enough mana pots for this. We have a couple extra scrolls. I would not mind another heroism scroll, but it looks like we're not going to get one. We don't need these abilities. Okay, so I think I'm going to buy at least one of those very expensive pieces over there. Let's see. The helm is probably the best bet just because he can double dip into it. He's getting 15% extra damage and more survivability. The ring is 13, so 4% for me or 15% for him. Yeah, we'll buy that. Okay, this will go on him. We'll sell this one. Now, with the remaining, there's no reason not to just buy scrolls and stuff. I might buy another hand grenade. What are those? 75 and 40 for the mana potions we don't really care about. Speed scrolls aren't going to be too useful. Prot scroll is more. Buy a prot scroll. We'll buy a grenade, which you'll see hopefully why is useful in just a second here. Get the grenade. Get a speed scroll. Get a mana pot. Can't take the hearts with us, so might as well spend them. And now we're going to talk about the boss. So this is the last boss, I believe, of the entire game. This is the Necromancer. Horrible, terrifying guy. So he is going to attack, which I can heal through. He's going to volley, which I could heal through. He's going to put damage over time, which I could heal through or dispel. He is going to summon spirals around the room that I will need to move away and get out of. He is going to summon a Skeleton King. The Skeleton King will do a tank debuff. He will do a stun that I have to get out of, and he will make the Necromancer not take damage, but also deal 60% damage. So basically, fight the boss like normal, don't stand in stuff, and then when the tank comes out, the Skeleton King comes out, who has a lot of health, I have to immediately go and kill him so that I can get back on the Necromancer. I need to be careful not to get stunned. Thankfully, the boss will be doing 60% less damage during it, but still, it's additional damage between the attack, the mortal strike, the stun, and the boss doing 40% damage. We want to get this guy dealt with as quickly as possible. Now, before any of that even happens, there is a 2-minute ad phase where ads are going to come out of these doors in the distance there. There's going to be a corpse that comes out, and when I kill it, it's going to drop a pool on the ground. So what I'm going to try to do is kite these guys to the wall, and then drop the pool at the edge so that I don't run out of space in the middle, especially since I will have to be dodging the Death and Decay. These guys are going to come and just put a necrotic strike on the tank. It's going to reduce their healing taken. So I just want to tank them and kill them. And now these guys are going to come in and explode if they touch anyone. So I'm going to try to snipe them with instant heal and just not let them get close so I don't have to heal through all that damage on everyone. They only have 1200 health, so I should be able to just about snipe them. As long as it crits, I'll one-shot them. And that's pretty much it. So 2-minute ad phase. Take the corpses to the edge to drop the puddles on the edge. Snipe the eruptors before they reach anyone. Take out the champions before they do too much tank damage. Boss phase comes out. I am going to Heroism Scroll, get as much damage on him as possible before the ad phase. When the ad phase comes out, I need to watch the stun. I need to kill this guy quickly so he doesn't get too many mortal strikes on our knight. And I need to get back into the boss phase to do more damage to him. 125,000 health, a little bit less than the other bosses at 150,000 from the other levels, but considering I have to then put 75,000 damage into the Skeleton King, it's going to be a lot of damage. Plus this ad phase, it's a long fight with the ad phases, so a lot of attrition for my mana. Need to use my mana pots pretty liberally to keep topped up. Use them off cooldown, use the first one early. Gotta remember I have prot scrolls in an emergency. I can throw these hand grenades at some of the ads just to stop them from detonating. I have my big emergency heal. I have Mass Dispel if I need it for the corruption. Mostly saying all this for myself because it's going to be a lot going on at once. Going to do my best to narrate it and let you know what I'm doing here as we go, but this is going to be tough. This is our one shot to beat this guy, so here we go. Moving in, usually I would pre-buff everyone, but since we have the ad phase happening first, 120 seconds, 2 minutes of ads. This is the Eruptor. We just snipe these guys before they get close so they don't detonate. And like so, what's their corpse? No, move away, please move away. We need to kite away so that when it dies, it drops the puddle near the edge, not in the middle of the room. And then we need to snipe the Eruptors. Necrotic Champion, you guys go fight the Necrotic Champion. I'm going to snipe the Eruptors. Need to keep an eye on the tank. Try to be pretty efficient with our heals here. Need to snipe that. Need to snipe this. Need to keep some slow, efficient heals on everybody so my mana comes back. Looking for what's coming next. I see an Eruptor over here, I believe. There is a corpse, so we're going to go fight it in the corner. I am going to just get this guy with this heal, maybe, before he detonates. Uh-oh. Oof, yeah, he almost blew up. Alright, we'll move out of that cloud. Go back to sniping the Eruptors. Like so. We're doing pretty good on mana. Champion. Oh, yeah, see, this champion does hurt. Throw a couple hammers at him to keep everybody healthy while killing him quicker. More Eruptors coming. We'll try to just snipe one. Snipe two. We got another puddle guy coming. We want to get that puddle in the corner. So there we go. Get them as far in the corner as we can. I'm going to come snipe these Eruptors before they get too close. And then we're going to focus champion. Do a circle to keep everybody healthy. Eruptor behind us. I'm going to go deal with like so. Okay, 20 seconds until boss is active. One more Corruptor at least. I'm going to deal with this guy while you guys fight him. Want to get that puddle away though. Whoa. Fuck it. We're going to have to snipe. Snipe. Why are you guys just running through poison? What the hell is wrong with you? Jesus. Okay, boss is about to be active. That Eruptor's gonna fucking detonate, so I'm gonna have to do this. Oh boy. Let this tick on the Eruptor. Last Eruptor. Oh god, please. Okay, boss is active. Heroism Scroll. I don't know what that is, but get out. Just get out. My god. Please start healing. Oh, the Skeleton King's up. I need to start spamming my hammer on the Skeleton King. Okay. Keep everybody healthy here. burn through my mana, use a mana pot. I need to try to get a res on the tank right now. Okay, need to get out of. This is the stun. Okay, we get the res off, so it's worth it. He's on me. Emergency heal. I'm out of mana. And we are trying our best to just keep everybody a little bit healthy. Tank's down again. We need to get out of the slam. Circle of healing. I should use the hammer. 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 Mana pot. Hammer. Quick heal on myself. I'm not sure if we can get the tank. Everybody needs to be hitting the Skeleton King, not the boss. I'm going to try to use the hand grenade to speed this up. Okay, he's down. Move out of this. Okay, people are going down. Spell Sword. Needs a heal. He's out of range. I'm down. I didn't buy that thing to res me. And that's it. Darn it, man. Well, I feel like we could have done that. We got pretty close at the end of that ad phase. It was just a chaotic transition. I want to clean up those ads a lot better going in to when the boss spawns, so we could have a nice early burn damage on the boss. And then when that Skeleton King comes out, I need to be a little bit better about micromanaging my people onto him and then moving them out of the slam. Having to burn our big healing cooldown as soon as those ads, or as soon as the boss came up, just to clean up those last few ads was pretty bad. Probably kind of panicked, mismanaged a lot of stuff there. But even still, that is tough, man. That is about as good of a build as I've ever gotten getting to him. I may try it again, but honestly, that's about my 6th run trying that, and each one's taking like an hour. And I don't know that I'm going to have the time in my life to get back to that. So if you're seeing this, and if you're listening to this, 1, why are you still listening? The video's over. And 2, it means I uploaded it just to show people. I mean, I showed you the full floor, about as good of a run as you can get. Just didn't quite finish off the boss, but hopefully it's enough for you to see what you can do or should do. Maybe if I farmed out all of these upgrades, it would help a little bit, certainly, but really just a tough boss. We'll give myself 2 more healing in case I do decide to do another run. I'm just crushed, man. I thought I had that, and I just had such a bad transition to when the boss started, and then really panicked and did not play it nearly as well as I could have. Now that I've seen it all, I'm sure that I have a good shot of doing it again. I just don't know if I want to put in the effort of getting back there again, so we'll probably just throw this up, let people see the full level and the boss fight, even though I didn't quite defeat him, and go from there. But that's all for now. It's a really fun game. I've been Sigs, but for now I'm out of here. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you have a good one. Peace.